So we can win it locally?
We have to fight it locally.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. My next guest is one that you might not expect on this program. She is proof that incremental steps towards total control is an issue that transcends left versus right. She is a, would you say, a wildly liberal Democrat?
Wildly?
Wildly liberal Democrat. Rosa Koire, she is a member of Democrats Against UN Agenda 21. Why did you get involved in this?
Well, it's almost you can say what isn't Agenda 21, and you're not going to find anything that isn't Agenda 21 these days. And of course, I was a government employee, expert witness for 30 years, and found that people were not able to use their land. And because I'm an appraiser, I was having a difficult time being able to justify valuation for people's property, and doing my research and also suing our city to stop a huge redevelopment project in Santa Rosa, California. Of course, I looked behind all of that and found United Nations Agenda 21 Sustainable Development.
The EPA has just come out with, I don't even know what it was, another one today, like another 34 rules and regulations that are coming out. They're coming out fast and furious, to use the phrase. I'm a guy who owns a farm. Mm-hmm. And they are telling you, what you can and can't do with your own land, and
yep.
it's slipping away so fast, and people are not paying attention to it.
I think that people recognize many, many things that are wrong, but they don't realize that they're all connected.
Right.
And of course, if you're out in a rural or suburban area, there's a target on you.
Okay, so make your best case for somebody who's just tuning in and they're like, okay, what? Really? Mm-hmm. Make your best case.
Well, if you're a liberal, I'm going to talk to you about the National Defense Authorization Act, drones, the USA Patriot Act. United Nations Agenda 21 is about inventory and control, and it's inventorying and controlling everything. So all aspects of your life, education, sustainable development pervades every element of the educational system from pre-kindergarten to postgraduate school. And then, of course, in your land use, you're being restricted in what you can do with your land. It's in law enforcement with community-oriented policing, these consensus meetings that you're going to where you're asked, what's your opinion about our great new plan for the center of your town? These plans are all the same plan all across the United States and the world. So this is not a ground-up program. It is ground-up. We're being
right.
ground up, but it's not, it's not coming from the people. It's masquerading.
AstroTurf. Yeah, it's
yes,
AstroTurf. Right.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what's so scary about it. And what I've talked to several people on is that they have said, they went to their town council or their city council and they know them. And they're like, Bill, what are you doing, man? Don't you know? And most of them don't know. Occasionally, they'll run into somebody who they thought they knew, and they'll immediately get hammered. Oh, are you a conspiracy freak? Are you saying all this? What do people say? What do you say to somebody who is just saying you're a conspiracy freak?
Well, the problem, of course, is that Agenda 21 is not named Agenda 21. When you're looking at it locally, it's sustainable development, and it may be your center of your town regional plan. It's a regional plan. And so they can easily say that they don't know anything about it because they don't see it called Agenda 21. It's not a conspiracy theory. It is a conspiracy fact. And there's one other thing that's really important is that our elected officials are being supposedly so-called inoculated by planners who have been trained by the American Planning Association to literally inoculate and indoctrinate elected officials so that they simply do not listen to those of us who are speaking the truth about this plan.
What does that mean? What do you mean they're...
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
They actually did a 12-week-long communications boot camp for planners. The American Planning Association did. And they wrote the book, Growing Smart Legislative Guidebook, that they were commissioned by the President's Council on Sustainable Development. And so they are really a big player. And so they actually are training planners to not use the word smart growth. In fact, now they're supposed to use quality growth, and they're supposed to tell tell elected officials that, no, don't listen to those people talking about their concerns about regional planning and regional governance, because they don't know what they're talking about. They're just conspiracy theorists.
Where did this come from originally?
Well, it depends on how far you want to go back with it. I mean, you can go back to the Fabian Socialists in the 1800s and, bring it all the way down to now. But really, 1992, President George H.W. Bush signed on to it, And then Clinton in 93 created the President's Council on Sustainable Development. And they commissioned a couple of books, the one I talked about, and also Sustainable America, A New Consensus. New consensus. That means that you are being indoctrinated and you are being propagandized, and it's about neutralization of the opposition. That is very important to know. That's the new consensus.
That's why I was hammered like I was.
That's
Again,
right.
Just isolate, make you into a freak. If you believe it, you're a freak. You're an oddball, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
How much trouble should the average person expect when they go to their local city council?
You know what? You got to be tough, and we are Americans. This is, freedom is a nonpartisan issue, and you need to be strong. You need to not be concerned that you're going to be laughed out. Because that is part of this, unfortunately, because this is such an important issue that it's a stealth plan in plain sight. So yes, you may hit some opposition.
Okay, so help me out. First of all, you can get this on Amazon, Behind the Green Mask, UN Agenda 21. This is your book. This is all the facts and figures on it, everything that you would need to know, and where to go to find more original source information on it. This, of course, is my fiction book, and we wrote this to be something that you could get somebody who's like, oh, okay, what does that all mean when it's all tied together? As you said, when it's all tied together, it's a terrifying, terrifying picture. When you look at them as individual, oh, it's a bike path. Oh, we're just having some open spaces. But when you tie it all together, it's terrifying. And the afterword, this last part, is all of the things that all of the sources and everything. So when your friend or you get to the end of the book, you have all of the hyperlinks and everything, so you can see exactly why we wrote it this way and why it looks that way, to be able to arm you. This is the scholarly way. This is the one for your. I know, but I mean, this is really do them together. Do them together. This is one going to take you and take your friends in. This is the one that's going to arm you with everything that you need if you choose that this is something that you want to do. I believe that our country is really far gone, and a lot farther gone than we thought it was. And people don't care as much, or they don't believe as much, because the media has done such a horrible job, and the left has been spoon-feeding us lies for so long that it's a conspiracy theory.
I know, but on the other hand, you need to see that, of course, it kind of fits in with the liberal worldview, and because the media and education have been kind of pushing this as a save the planet kind of a thing, it's very difficult to break through that, that line of propaganda.
Right.
So, but we really have to recognize that all of us together are Americans.
Right,
So,
and I think that's why this is really winnable. If we don't go and shout people down at our city council meetings, if we find the people that we know in our neighborhoods and we say, Bill, listen, you don't understand. You haven't tied it all together yet. And if you have reasonable conversations, it's a lot easier to get to the people on the city council or your mayor or something, because you know them, than it is to get to Mayor Bloomberg. Never going to get to him.
Right.
Never going to get to him. And really, a lot of the stuff that he does here in New York, Agenda 21.
It's all of this, everywhere is Agenda 21. It's the best thing to do is educate yourself so that you feel confident that you have the information, and then get the information out. We need to reach critical mass on the information here so that people recognize that this is impacting you. This is not out in the future. It's not some fantasy. It is right now, and we can beat this, but we need to work together.
Yeah, okay, good. We're going to introduce you to some more people that are working together to stop Agenda 21. Back in a minute.